Hey guys, Coach Roel here once again. I'm at another self-storage facility, and in case you didn't catch the previous two videos, I'm kind of semi-documenting my own experience as a customer of self-storage because switching over a couple of my Airbnb short-term rental properties to long-term, we had to store a whole bunch of stuff, kitchen stuff, furniture, etc. And so this is the third in the mini series, and I'm here at one of the big REITs here. Quick recap. Number one was proximity to my other kitchen cabinet store, one of my other businesses. So proximity was the big one. Number two was the price. And then number three criteria in terms of mindset in selecting a storage facility myself is the actual facility. So because we had to store furnitures and some nicer stuff, I was leaning a little bit more towards an air-conditioned, climate-controlled space, and was willing to give up a little bit more of the convenience. So instead of being able to drive right up to the storage facility, which most of the lockers where they're on the outside are not climate-controlled, being in Orlando, Florida in the summer, it can get really hot inside these storage lockers. I opted to check out one of these climate-controlled units in one of these larger storage facilities that's nearby one of my stores. So as if you're new to this, there's the office behind me. I asked permission if I could do a brief little recording, and so you drive up, and you've got one of these little keypads here to be able to get in through the gated entrance. Today it's wide open for some reason, maybe it's not working, but that's usually the security. And hopefully through the magic of editing, I'll be able to edit some of this stuff and speed it up. But I'm going to walk through to the facility here, the entrance. And nice thing about these larger ones is that it is nicely air conditioned inside. I know you can't feel that in the video, but there's also a keypad here. And I will punch in my code so that the elevator would work. And then press the button to go up. And we'll speed through a little bit. Second floor. Cool thing here is that they have motion sensor lights. So very nice, very comfortable inside air-conditioned facility. And they got the motion sensor lights to conserve electricity, which is really great. And you can see these storage lockers, storage units, are closer to the elevator, so it would be much more convenient. I would expect that they would be a little bit more expensive to rent because it is much more convenient. But as you probably know by now, if you've caught my other couple of videos, sometimes I'm a bit of a cheapo. So I was actually okay to forego a little bit of convenience for price at this moment in time. So we're here at my facility, and I was able to actually snag a double door 10 by 20. Let's see if this actually works. There's one. And there's all the furnishings. Hopefully this will stay. Oh, good. Beautiful. And like I said, I have another one here. So what was convenient for me, and my deciding factor, was the fact that this was a 10 by 20, but it was side by side. So a really nice thing for me was I got a whole bunch of stuff here. at any rate, I got a lot of stuff here. As you can see, this was in the storage or in the warehouse. Some of this stuff was in the warehouse that I showed you in 2 videos ago. And convenient thing for me is that not only is it climate controlled, but it's side-by-side doors. And you can see the other door doesn't stay up. Sometimes it stays up, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, this is not this. I know it looks like junk, but it's not necessarily junk. It's all stuff for business use. As you can see there's furniture, there's mattresses, there's a dining set, there's some furniture down here, etc. And this was what is all this stuff? A 4-bedroom house, 2.5 bath. Basically all the stuff from there. So fits in a 10 by 20, and as you can see, all those garbage bags are linens from our other business. And I got some personal item stuff. Yes, there's some children's toys there. But yeah, this was the deciding factor for me, because I don't need to access this stuff very often. So I was okay with trading off a little bit of convenience, not being able to drive right up to the storage locker to be able to access my stuff on a regular basis, for the fact that it is air conditioned here right now. Again, being in Florida, that's a huge bonus. And it's a little bit further away from the elevator, so that's okay, because I was able to actually get a bit of a sale price off of that. I think it was like 50% of the first month, or $1 for the first month, something like that. But that was a little bit of the factor for me. So that was what was going through my head. It's close to one of my stores. The price was good, and then the third item was the fact that it's air conditioned, and it still is accessible, and it's in a very safe environment. There's like cameras all over the place here. And so yeah, so that was really the mindset that, or the thought process that I was going through, being a customer of self-storage as well as an investor. So there you have it. There's a little bit of behind the scenes, and I guess what I'll leave you with is the point being is think about what the customer would need. Now, I know maybe I'm not such a typical customer of self-storage myself, being that this is really for business purposes, but I think the last I looked, the statistic was it's about 12% of self-storage customers are actually small businesses like myself. So that being said, in terms of local markets, people say, well, the places are saturated with self-storage. Yes, I chose one of the big REITs in the chains, but it's for a very specific reason. Most people would really, in terms of deciding what kind of facility they want, first thing is always proximity. As we say, within most markets, on average, you're in about a 3-mile radius market. And if you find that there's a lot of storage facilities within that 3-mile radius, you just hop over another 3 miles and you're in a totally new market. And you don't necessarily have to be the cheapest, nor do you necessarily want to be. You just have to be in the ballpark, and there's a whole lot of other factors, because this is actually what I wanted to share with you, is I found going through this process myself, I didn't have a whole lot of patience to shop around to a lot of different storage facilities. I was like, I just need something that's good enough. And honestly, I only looked at 2 myself physically, because I just felt like, they're kind of all the same, and these 2 are closest to where I want it to be, and I'll just decide between those 2. I didn't necessarily get the cheapest. I got the cheaper of the 2, given that this one is climate controlled. But on my way here, between the previous one that I had reviewed in the previous video and this one right here, I must have passed by probably another 2 mom and pop and 1 large chain storage facilities. So 3 different storage facilities in between that were not, or did not catch my attention. They were not on Sparefoot where I looked. So that's something to really consider, is to make sure that if you do have a facility that you're going to be bringing online or taking over, that you do register with these aggregators, because more and more so people these days, like myself, we'll be doing a lot of our research online before we actually head out. And I thought I'd have the energy and the patience to look at least 3 facilities, if not more. But after 2, I was like, no, that's good enough. So people are getting a little bit less patient with research, and with a commodity like self-storage, it's be good to just make sure that you are in the ballpark and that you're able to handle any questions and upsell people and be accommodating and do whatever it takes. And once they're on your facility, then you've got them. You've got a much higher chance of getting that business. So once again, there you have it. Coach Roel here, and hopefully I'll catch you again in the next video. Thanks again for joining us here at Self-Storage Investing. We really appreciate it. For more great content like this, make sure to click the subscribe button below this video. And be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and BiggerPockets. You can also visit us at our main website at selfstorageinvesting.com, where you'll find even more free content, our ebook, and registration to our free webinars and education courses, and much more. Once again, for more great content like this, please click the subscribe button below. Thank you.